Generic greetings and welcome back to Airships Conquer the Skies once again. Today's beverage is rose petal lemonade. It sounds a lot more floral than it tastes. It's, well, you would expect it to taste like roses smell, but it doesn't. It's very, very refreshing indeed. Anyway, in the previous video, of videos, I guess, of Airships Conquer the Skies, we were messing around with the new plane stuff, but we're going to put that aside for a moment because, I want to try something that I don't think it's going to work, but it's going to be interesting finding out. At the end of the day, it's just us generic entities having a mess around and playing with stuff, and if it doesn't work, then you know what? It's just, we've enjoyed a beverage, haven't we? So let's just go to the airship editor first. And I want to show you a bit of a problem. Let's go to Open Design, and we'll go for, let's see, oh, that perfectly demonstrates the problem. So this is the Hammer Headington, and as you can see, it's a sort of carrier with a bit of a sort of battlefront end. It's got 4 planes on the top, actually bombers, as you can see. And it's fairly long, but also very, very thin, and on the front it's got your dorsal and ventral turrets, and then you've got some cannons on the front. So it kicks kicks some shots out. It's got a bit of firepower. It's got some good attack, but it can get overwhelmed by air boarding, as most things can do. Although I do believe we have some defensive stuff here. Yeah, we've got a guard barracks. But also the main problem with it is what happens if this occurs. Well, actually, bad example, nothing, because this is still technically in one go, because this little strut here keeps the front and back together. But if that happens, oh dear, we have a little bit of a problem. As you can see, the ship now is split in half. The front end will still be able to fight technically, because it's got all of these cannons on it, it's got the ammo storage. However, it'll only be able to fight for about 2 or 3 seconds before it plummets straight to the ground and then goes kadoosh and explodes, because it's got no suspendium tanks and suspendium chambers. On the back, however, we have suspendium, we have propulsion, and we technically have a bomber, but we can't order it around because the command stuff is on the front. The command stuff is around here. So there it is there, in fact, on the bridge. So this thing will probably be knocked out because it doesn't have any weapons. Although this might class as weapons, this bomber here. But assuming like that is in one go, it's yeah, we've lost a lot of ship. But what if we design a ship that is big, but it is designed to split? If a shot comes in, the chances are hopefully it will hit a strut that will snap, and the ship or the module that is self-contained will be able to then crack off and go about its business. Would it work? I don't know, but it's going to be interesting finding out. So we'll leave that. We'll leave without saving, go back to Airship Editor, and we want to make this thing. So let's think about weapons first. We want to make it as small as possible. So we're going to put a cannon on it. We'll probably put 2 cannons on it. I would like to have a flak cannon on it, like that, but not really going to work because of the line of sight and stuff. It means I can't place stuff up here, which is exactly what I want to do. So there's our stuff in so far. Okay, so there's 2 cannons. I could use something else. I could use flamethrowers or whatever, but I just stick with a standard cannon. It's just, it is what it is. It can take out most things. It's very universal. Very generic. Okay, so we have that. We do need to then have something to A, charge it, and B, something to fire out the front. And we're not going to put cutlery in or anything like that. So we'll go for resources. Resources, there we go. And we want a small ammo store, like so. And then we want a, well, for a start we need also command and crew. We need a cockpit. And we'll need a berth. Alright, there's that in one. What next? Well, we need some way to keep this above the ground. So, suspendium chamber? Ah, doesn't work. Doesn't work there. What's the best way of doing this then? Because we need a way up and down. Well, we could put a small coal store in. In fact, you know what I'm best off doing? I'm best off loading Open Design. I've got something like this. This is the Swarmington. Although the Swarmington doesn't exist anymore, sadly, because of like loading and such. But we do have, I believe, it's called the Grape Shottington. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. There's the Grape Shottington. All fully self-contained unit. You've got a small propeller. You've got a corridor. You've got a small coal store. You've got your suspendium chamber. You've got your 2 berths. You've got your cockpit, supply hatch, ammo store, and then grape shot cannons, which we will promptly remove because we don't need them. Or we do want weapons of some kind, but we're putting cannons on because they are more fitting for our needs. Okay. Also, we might go ahead and... where would it be? Under command and crew, perhaps? Telescope, no basic. I'm looking for the fire extinguisher. There it is there. And it does, I'm happy to say, have access all around it. So we actually now have this slightly better design anyway, even if we do save this, which we might as well. Save the design, there you go. Save it, overwrite it, because it's just a better design now, because it can put its own fires out. Okay, so there is our Grape Shottington. Now, what we'll do is we'll go to structural, and I want to see what's got the least weight and the least HP. See, strut's got loads of HP, so we don't want to use that. Deck got HP 40, weight 2. Corridor, HP 32, weight 4. So the deck is the way to go. So what we'll do, we'll have deck, and then we're going to have the decks run up like this. Although they can't go up, that's a problem. So we're going to have to use corridor, like that. Okay? And then what I want to do is do this. And in between those sections, we're going to go for lift and pressurized suspendium tank. And before we do anything else, we want to just check explosion damage. Ah. Perhaps it is not good. Oh no. I don't know how far that goes. That says 200, 200. So let's just see how far that goes. Ah, it only goes 2 blocks. So that's fine. If that blows up, it's only going to get these 2. You see that? So if that blows up, it blows these for 200 damage. And that one, it doesn't. Remove that. It gets rid of that section there. So this is fine. This is what we want. Okay. So let's keep designing. So it is suspendium tank. Actually, do we need this? The whole point of the suspendium tank is to make it sort of crack off, but we don't need that. We don't need that at all. We just need, ideally, that. So a gap of 2. Let's just turn off that over there because we don't need it. So a gap of 2, and then 2, and then 2, then 2, 2, and 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 6 in total. Okay, so what we'll do is we're just going to clone this middle section. Like this. This is not going to work. I can already feel it's not going to work. But you know what? It's a good mess around. Okay. So, we're just cloning the designs. I haven't even put the engines on the top there. Hang on. Clone tool. My kingdom for a clone tool. Is there a clone tool? Flip. No, there isn't. Ah, well, shame. Right. So, copy all these. We got 6. We don't need these bits, actually, so we might as well get rid of these top and bottom bits. We might actually put suspendium on here, just so we have this decent service ceiling. But I don't actually know what the service ceiling is. I mean, we'll find out in a moment. But this is still technically a legitimate ship. Because at the end of the day, they're all legitimate ships. They're all completely legit on their own. So why wouldn't they be together? It's too heavy to fly. That's why it's not legitimate ships. Okay, so what we'll do, we will then... what's our service ceiling? Minus 8 meters. So these things here are obviously weighing it down. So what we'll do is have a suspendium, perhaps? Suspendium dust tank, suspendium chamber. We'll have like a sort of gondola, for lack of a better term. So we'll go up, and then we'll have like these connected to the top one. The problem with that is if the top one snaps off, if it snaps off there, then no problem. These ones will just crash to the ground, but this one will be fine, which is not what we wanted. Which is why I was going to put these dust tanks in this place in the beginning. We could have them like this. And have the dust tanks towed behind. Which is still separate, you see. Structural strut. Like that. And that not only increases the service ceiling to 86 meters, it also has these so they are a little bit higher themselves. And also has like a nice little tail on it. Okay. That's what we've got. In terms of armor, it's actually good thick armor, right? Decoration, obviously we want to put mouths on each of these. There we go. Do you want eyes? I guess we want an eye on it, about there maybe. Then we could have a roundel on the back there. That looks quite good. And then we'll want a steel nameplate on... Can't really have it because it's too small. Yeah, it's actually too small. We've also got gold leaf as well, which is something you can do. I'm not a fan of that. Well, I am, but it's not in these ones. We can't put names on it. So you know what? I'm actually going to remove the mouth, right? Even though it looks pretty cool. I like the idea of them all having nameplates, even though the nameplates will all be the same. So if we rename that, it'll be the Gav Splittington, right? And that'll be it. So we'll save the design. This is so not going to work. We'll leave that, and we'll go into combat. So, day. Add airship, and we'll have the Splittington. What have I done? Okay, we'll have two Splittings together. So the idea is, once we start fighting, these will fire at each other. If they hit these things, then fair enough, no problem whatsoever. That happens, right? It means that these little things are damaged. If it hits the stuff at the back, the suspendium, this pressurized suspendium tank, it will take these struts out. And if it does take these out, then this ship can just function on its own. Is it going to work? We're going to find out. So there's shots out immediately. The whole thing is falling out of the sky because that's suspendium, pressurized suspendium dust tank has been taken out. So is that one. There's the shots whizzing out. Now technically this is one full ship, this one, so we can't target the struts. So it's just going to be luck whether or not we're able to split this off. The advantage actually is that as you can see, we actually have access between the different parts. Oh, hang on, we've got a split. We have a split. So both of these are now split up. Oh my god, it functions. Working as intended. Look at that. It's a cluster ship. It's the split ship, but it's a cluster ship. Because they've both got bridges, they can function. I mean, I say function. When that happens, that's always quite bad. Yeah, that didn't work out. Oh my good grief. I can't believe it worked. Uh-oh. Okay, one could argue that didn't work. Well, we've lost the fight, but as proof of concepts go, that was functional. Right, okay, let's try that again, because that did actually work, to my surprise. Okay, so, what's the best one? We'll just go for, I don't know, what looks quite nice? That'll look quite nice. So we want add airship, the Splittington. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And go. So there's the shots. So it's like a big block of flats, essentially. Shooting each other. It's like block wars. So what we'll do, we'll say use. I want you to target that thing. You can see it is actually one big lump. So there's the shots. Whizzing out. Block of flats, block of flats. I'm going to say move. They're trying to get below, so I'm going to go down. So as a entity anyway, these function quite well. Even when these back end blows up, they can still sit around and fire, and then they are actually just a block of flats, to be honest with you. I could just ground them and have it as block wars. But you can see we're firing away. Taking these bits out. Yeah, that's okay. Looks like the back end... Oh, there's a bit of a weakness. The back end fell off and it's just now crunched all the way through the others. Right, so that's no longer an issue that I have to deal with. That's sort of resolved itself, really. We'll target this one now, and let's see what we can do. So, they're going to fire out again. Oh, it looks like we've got some suspendium, and yeah, the whole thing crashed out of the ground. And that thing's going the same way. Oh, good grief, yes. I think they were a bit too close, and there was some secondary explosion damage there. It's interesting, when they blow up and land, look, they're still firing. Because each one of these is an individual ship, as soon as this module, like, as soon as you crash down, the bottom module absorbs the impact quite well. But then the rest can keep fighting anyway, because they've got bridges, they've got some spendium dust tanks, they've got the lot. Ah, look! They're split now. So they've actually split in two. There you go. So now, they're under separate commands. And they're coming at me. It shouldn't work, but it sort of does at the same time. Refinement of the idea is definitely something we can go ahead and do. The problem I can see is that actually the chances of hitting these sections are quite low compared to the rest of it. And also, when they do explode, or when they do get hit, look, they're not necessarily broken. Look, there's holes in that one. So it's just not, it's not splitting exactly as I want it. Okay. Alright. Let's go for a ram here, and we'll say ram to there. And we'll see what this does. Well, apparently it's going to ram into the back of that. Well, thank you for that. I really appreciate you ramming into my own vessel, you massive insert. Generic insult here. And whoa, good grief, it doesn't have wallow around, doesn't it? Look at that. Okay, looks like we're going to brace for impact, and oh, they're backing up. Right, well that, yeah, to be fair, it doesn't really move very fast. Although, we have got a suspendium rock back here. If I take out their pressurized suspendium tank, it's going to fall out of the sky. Yeah, that was far too gentle. Essentially nobody can win this because we're all out of ammo. In fact, the ones that aren't out of ammo is this thing here. So that's technically why I'm that hasn't ended. So yeah, we're just going to be pushing this along and along and along. Yeah, okay, so we'll leave that. That sort of works. Okay, back to I don't want combat. Actually, you know what? Let's try one more combat here. We'll go for that's a nice. This is nice and snowy. Storm, no rain. Same as rain, I guess. Storm and rain are the same thing. I guess storms. Oh no, you get more clouds, I believe. No, it's random. I think you on storms you can have lightning strikes. Okay, so we'll go for a nice day. We will add the airship once more. So it'll be the. Where is it? Can't find it. Splittington. There it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 Splittingtons. Which is apparently 13,000. We're going to add a building, and it'll be we could have the red Wallington, but that just tends to break all the time. The black Wallington, that's just full of torpedoes, which will get us killed immediately. There's the Airfieldington. We can't really use that because, quite frankly, these are completely incapable of taking out anything to do with the air stuff. And let's just go to airship again, and we'll see what's the most expensive we've got. The Subbington is quite an expensive beast, so I'll have a couple of those. They're up to 8,000 and a bit of change there. We'll go to an landship, perhaps. Landship. We could put the Tankington in. We could put the... I can't believe the Liftington was even made, but, you know, it functions-ish. There's Gun Towers. Gun Towers was a fantastic device. It's got a telescope, it's got all of these cannons, and this leg here. The thing is, this on its own, these tracks, these can't support the weight of this, but you put this thing in here, and it stops it kicking back over, which is cool. Flame Tankington, little flak. There's the Doggington, which was like a boarding vessel type thing. It sort of worked. Mini Bombard, Mini Bombard is probably the way forward. Actually, no, let's go for Mini Tankington. So ship. Mini Tankington. One of the best designs we've got because they are just A, cool, B, effective, C, cheap. And you know what that'll do. So we'll start the fight. Here we go. So there's the shots whizzing out. Straight away, taking hits, taking hits. There's some torpedoes coming in. Oh, the suspendium tank's blowing up. They are coming straight towards us. Looks like we've got a big swarm of torpedoes there. And, oh, we've got multiple splits. Multiple splits have occurred. So we've got 1, 2, 3 splits. The bottom ship has fallen out of the sky, which is quite bad. It looks like the... Subbington is falling out of the sky as well. This one, however, we can move over to there. This one we can then move in a second. Oh, no, we can't. Sadly, we can't move this middle one because they've lost both bridges. That's where that bridge was, look. That's completely gone. And this one hasn't got a front end. This one, however, is still functioning. I've just landed on top of that, but the suspension of the tracks managed to sort me right out. Let's go up and above there. This one we need to move and flip it round. This one we can stay as is. We'll move that further forward. Oh, for some reason it's all connected together. Move over there. You can't move. You can move forward like that. That one will move and we'll flip it round like so. That one will move and we'll flip it round like so. And you can see we are taking the front off there. So they're not splitting as intended. They're really not splitting as I thought. But to be fair, in terms of fighting, I've already taken out 2 Subbingtons. There's the third one going now. Actually, I don't think it's lost its suspendium... No, that's its suspendium chamber there. It's just taking a bit of damage. But it is going down. The main thing I'm running out of is ammo. And look at that. When he comes down for some reason, it really does jerk around. Looks like that Subbington is on the ground now. I am sitting on top of this tank. I am fighting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other mini Tankingtons, and I don't think I can win the fight because these are going to run out of ammo. And these are going to run out of ammo far too fast. Okay, right, so there's that going down. Well, it does work, you know. I think I'm quite happy with that. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe it's silly. Open the design again. So the Splittington. Maybe I shouldn't be happy with this. Or maybe it's, you know, I'm just going to have to remove all of these. Maybe I should be thinking to myself, why the hell did I even build something like this in the first place? Well, in reality, I wanted to just try to see because I thought it would be a good laugh. But actually, it sort of works. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do pressurized dust tanks and have it so that we'll have, basically like the original design that I said I was going to do with the corridors. So the corridors go up like that, corridors like that. Ah, sadly it won't be classed as a legitimate boat, so we'll have to do that. Because you'll need corridors all the way up. The question is though, explosion damage is still fine. That's okay. Although we could do something like this. Ah, no, because it is. Yeah, it's not about connection. It's about the radial damage. See if I put it there, nothing. There, you take full damage. Yeah, so even putting it there, it's not going to matter. These are going to get damaged. So you put the corridor straight up like so. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gap of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gap of 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll have the thing on the bottom. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then that's it. Okay. This is probably not going to work at all. Simply because it's too heavy. We've got too much corridor for what we're building here. But you know what? We'll see. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least we've tried it out. Refinements can be made at some point in the future by someone that isn't me. So we'll just do that and then go down to there. Oh, by the way, just to answer a couple of questions from the last couple of videos, a lot of people are asking, when am I doing a series, or rather, am I doing a series? Yes, I was always going to do another series of this. I mean, why would I not? But in terms of when, the thing is, doing the Prison Architect update was a bit of a surprise, sort of pushed things back. I was going to do Airships, I was going to do Rise of Industry, there was many things I was going to do, but I had to jump on that. I really wanted to jump on that when it came out, but probably the next series I'm going to do will be this. Well, we'll probably see how it goes, obviously, but yeah, I plan on doing this as a full series. A lot of people are also asking about mods. Why don't I run mods? Will I run mods, etc.? I have done a couple of videos, but only a couple with mods. It's not that I'm not a fan of them. I do actually like some of the mods that are out there. There's a lot of really good ones. There's some nice World War II ones, and you get like KV2 turrets and things like that, and nice like flak stuff. And that's wrong. Putting some guns on the front of there. But yeah, it's a nice thing, but I haven't bothered. I've got there's enough to satisfy me in here. Adding more is not bloat. There's a couple of things I would like, but I just haven't. There's no real reason for it. Okay, so we're going to rename this thing. We're not going to put. Actually, do we have? We're going to have some armor and modules on it, so we'll go for decoration. We'll put the nameplates on. We'll put the large nameplate. No, we won't, because it's far too large. So we'll put the Splittington's name on the front. Actually, what we'll do is we'll put it further in the middle, because I have a feeling that it's going to it's going to go off the edges there. And also, as a sort of target, we'll put the roundels on the suspendium tanks. The service ceiling is 14 meters, so I don't think we'll even be able to deploy this, you know. I honestly think that this won't be deployable, because it's higher than 14 meters, so how is it going to be placed? Yeah, service ceiling is dangerous, it's telling me there. Okay, so I'm going to have to go to modules, and we'll go to... We'll probably have to put the back end on like we had previously. So that. Yeah, why not? Why not? There we go. And then because we don't want this to break, we want to have this as structural, strut. There we go. And the service ceiling will no longer be very dangerous. It's 77 meters. Not ideal, but it's good enough for us. So it's going to be the Gav Clusterington. Save the design. Save that. Leave it. Combat. Day. And there's the Clusterington. 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, same rough idea. This was the original idea. If this gets hit, it will then destroy all of that, I believe. Well, there was the first volley. For some reason these moved down a little bit. I will do the same. Some mine are on fire. We've already got a split. There's a split there. It hasn't split because of that. We've just managed to hit it a couple of times. It's basically luck, isn't it? This really makes me... Oh, there we go. We got another split. So we got 1, 2, and... Looks like my block of flats is exploding again. I really... Ooh, good grief. That's really destroying each other. Yeah, look at that. It's split into 3. What I want is a docking module. A module that is together, but you can give it an order to split. So you can actually have 2 ships together and have like satellite ships. Oh, there we go. Looks like there's another one just blown up. I don't know how that would be in the... I don't know how that would be... how that would work. Like how that module would work. Would you have to have a new order to split? Oh, there we go. Look, there's another split there. See if we can move that off manually. Well, as a proof of concept, we've shown that it can work. Whether or not these are viable things to use is up for debate. I am leaning towards not, because they simply cannot... They've got no staying power. They've got not enough ammo to fight. Also... Look, they're expensive. 4,000 for that. 4,000. And if I put that against, say, well, the Subbington's 3,000. We've already seen what happens with that. The Carrington. Let's put the Carrington against it. Start. So the Carrington has triplanes, I think they are. They're biplanes. I'm not sure. But they've also got these air hussars, which are like single one-person boats. That's actually a mod I saw earlier. It was actually these, but with flamethrowers. That was really, really cool. That'd be cool. We've also got torpedoes on the front of this. Yeah, it's got more maneuverability. It's got probably a higher service ceiling. It is, I believe, more armoured. These are all suspendium dust tanks on the bottom there. I think it's got reinforced wooden armour, that thing. But as you can see, I am not able to do enough damage to it. I am also running low on ammo. I mean, I could put it on aimed fire, something I haven't done, but yeah, I don't think that's going to matter too much. You can see the little air hussars are coming in. They're just firing away, picking me apart because there's nothing I can do to stop them. They're actually boarding me by the look of it. That can't be right. Yeah, they're boarding me. How on earth are they boarding me? Do this have boarding? That's a very strange one. I didn't know this had boarding. Either way, you can see that this thing is happily surviving, and I'm getting picked apart. Although it's not as one-sided as I thought this was going to be. I'm going to back this up here just because I need to get some distance on it so the bottom cannons can fire. Yeah. I actually thought I was going to be defeated a lot sooner than this, but as you can see, I've only got 3 shots left. Maybe if I changed it to aimfire previously, earlier on, it might have done a bit better, but nah, there's no competition. And this thing's more expensive. So, yeah, in proof of concept, I think we've shown that it can work, but it's going to have to take a lot of refinement. But it does also point out something that I didn't realise that I want, and that's like a splitting module where you can make a ship with several little ships on it. A bit like, well, it's already sort of in the game with them like air hussars and the planes, where they are their own little vehicle essentially, and they fly off. But we're actually making the vehicle and then connecting it with a strut, and then you just hopefully be able to give an order to say disconnect. It's actually things like that I want. I mean, the thing is, there's no lacking of modules in the mod section of Steam Workshop. There's loads of stuff in there. You can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different types of modules and things like that. It's orders that I would like. So the ability to order planes to go on like a defensive pattern to shoot down torpedoes, things like that. I know you can use the planes to target. You can order the planes around, but it's just you have to say you target this. So it's not entirely the same, but it basically, whatever the ships target, they'll target as well as a priority, but it'd be nice to put them on, like, different patrol areas. But that's all extra stuff. Anyway, that has been a proof of concept of the Clusterington and the Splittington. I think it's been an interesting design. It didn't completely work, but you know what? It wasn't the massive failure that I thought it was going to be. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Any other designs, etc., by all means, put them in the comments and we can have a look at them later on. Hope you have enjoyed the video as always. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.